Okay, this is the second video for the test on December 6th. So going on, we did a small section at the bottom of Daf Gimel Amud Aleph, and it's 4 lines from the bottom. The Memra, our Mishnah that says begazis, that if you use the rocks that are called gazit, that you need a wall that's arba amot high, and it has to be 5 tefachim wide, 2.5 on each side. So apparently the ratio is kol arba amot gova. If you have 4 amot of height, you have a pusya chamisha. If the width of the wall, in other words, is 5 tefachim kai, then the wall is going to stand. It's enough of a foundation for the wall. Elo, but if you don't have that width of 5 tefachim, lokai, the wall is not going to stand, and therefore that's not going to work for you. But the Gemara says, "Va'amatraxin." Wait a second. In this first Beit HaMikdash, they had something called the traxin. The traxin was a wall which was an amma thick, which separated between the Kodesh and the Kodesh Kodeshim. The Havi Gavoa Tlatin Amata. It was 30 amot high. It was only 6 tzvachim wide. So here we're saying that a 4 amot high wall needs 5 tzvachim wide, and now we're saying a 30 amot high wall should be much more than 6, because the ratio, again, you can do the math, the ratio is going to be much more than that. And somehow, even though it was only 6 tzvachim wide, the wall stayed. So Gemara says, once he added another tefach, kai, it stands. In other words, it's not a direct ratio. As you go on, for initial 4 amot, you need of height, you need 5 amot of, 5 tefachim of width. But if you go way up high to 30 amot, you only have to add in 1 more tefach, and you can do that. So Gemara asks, my time amatraxin. In the second Beit HaMikdash, apparently between the Kodesh and the Kodesh Kodeshim, there was no wall. They hung curtains instead. And why didn't they do the same thing with the amatraxin? So the Gemara says, Kikai, when would this wall be able to stand? B'tlatzin, if it's 30 amot high, b'tlatzin kai, then it will stand. Tzvei, but if it's more than 30 amot high, then even though you have an amma at the bottom, it's not going to stay lokai. And therefore, to build a 40 amot high wall, you would need more of a width of an amma. That's the only thing they have. Between the Kodesh and Kodesh Kodeshim, there's only an amma. So they couldn't make it any thicker. And therefore, since this was 40 amot high, therefore they had to go ahead and use curtains instead of a wall. So where it says, how do we know that the second Beit HaMikdash was 10 amot higher than the first Beit HaMikdash? Say the first Beit HaMikdash was 30 amot high. The second Beit HaMikdash was 40 amot high. So the Gemara quotes the pasuk from Sefer Chagai, that the glory of the second Beit HaMikdash is going to be greater than the glory of the first Beit HaMikdash. In what way? So Rav and Shmuel, so Machloket, Rav and Shmuel. The Amrila, some say it wasn't Rav and Shmuel, Rav Yochanan, Rav Elazar. Chanamar Bivinyan, one said that it was the second Beit HaMikdash was a more glorified building. The Chanamar, and the other one says Bishanim, that it lasted longer. V'isalaha, and both are true. In other words, number one, it was taller. The first Beit HaMikdash was 30 amot high, the second 40 amot high, and it was also lasted for a longer time. According to Chazal, the first Beit HaMikdash lasted 410 years, and the second Beit HaMikdash lasted 420 years. Okay, Toda Rabah.